Miriam, now, you didn't... I'm guessing you don't sugarcoat things. Do you get starstruck when you meet people?
I do sometimes. I do sometimes. I remember when I was young, and I met Laurence Olivier.
Wow.
That was... I used to collect autographs at the stage door, you know, and he came out, and I remember so distinctly that I started to in my knickers. I could feel it. I could actually... I went all funny. That is true. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Wherever we thought that story was going. That isn't it.
I honestly don't think I've ever been more uncomfortable in my life. I think that's the worst moment of my life.
Oh, dear.
Well, it can only get better. So.
Well, that's a lovely story, Miriam. Thank you for sharing. I think that's in the compilation. That's great. Cameron has also been in the papers recently, feeling very strongly that all women should maintain some pubic hair. Cameron feels very strongly about this.
No. It's not exactly that. I don't
say
care.
maintain?
Like, no. Well, maintain.
Is it in a jar or?
Thank you.
That would
Somebody
be
who gets
retain.
it.
To the allotment.
If you had an aspect of husbandry about it,
Right.
Richard,
You
it
mean
would be maintain. Take it out every now and then, comb it.
Yeah.
Place it back in.
In terms of my comfort zone, I'm far away from it. I've left the zone of safety. I'm in the wilderness. I don't know what's happening.
See the forest through the trees.
That is an inappropriate metaphor, given what we're talking about.
Really?
But the thing about writing your life is trying to kind of remember it all. There's a bit... You actually lost your own baby.
Yes, briefly. Yes, I did. Aid and I were living in Richmond at the time, and I had 3 children, I imagine.
Oh, so many to keep track of.
Three, hard to keep track of.
Yes.
And one morning, Aid got up, and he went and got the girls up, the 2 bigger girls who, you know, toddling around, and he took them down for breakfast, and I was to go and get the baby. And I went upstairs to the baby's room, and the cot was empty. And I thought, that's unusual, isn't it? That. And you start thinking, yeah, baby should be in that cot. It's a bit strange. And so I thought, well, maybe Aid's picked it up and taken it downstairs for breakfast. So I go downstairs for breakfast. The heart's thumping a little bit. You think, this is odd. And I go downstairs, and Aid's feeding the other 2. No sign of the baby. And at which point I'm thinking, I should ask him, shouldn't I? I should actually ask him. Then I think, no, he'll look at me like people looked at Ingrid Bergman in Gaslight. They'll think, you're mad. You've never had another baby before. You only got 2 children, you idiot. So I thought, no, I won't ask him. I'll go back upstairs. So I went upstairs, and I went back up to the baby's room, nothing. And I'm seriously thinking, am I gone mad? Have I actually got a baby? And so I went back down to my bedroom, and I sat on the bed, and as I leant down, I felt this little lump. This is awful. Yes, Mumsnet, it's awful. Yes, I know you shouldn't do that. But I was breastfeeding her at night, and she'd kicked herself. I'd fallen asleep, obviously, from tiredness, and she had kicked herself down to the bottom of the bed and was sort of right under the duvet, right down the bottom of the bed. I mean, just fast asleep. Still alive, she's still alive. Suffered no damage.
And because your accent is so, you know, good in Derry Girls, but you're not from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, you can feel the palpable sense of disappointment when people meet me. And I go, oh, you're not Claire? And I go, no, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I'm just a faker.
Where are you from?
From Galway, West Coast, yeah.
I mean,
Galway
so
girl.
far away.
Still Irish.
So many hours.
Jennifer's fine ears going, it sounds the same to me.
Sounds Irish to me.
I'm shocked about how old they all are. Because I met your mate with a dark O once.
Jamie Lee.
Jamie Lee, yeah.
Yes.
She came up to me once, and I think I spoke to her like a child. I said, hello, how are you then? Well, how old are you then? She went, 8:33.
And now your accent there is great. And Derry Girls,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole range of accents. Yours is really good.
Oh, thank you.
Would you say there's a whole range of accent in
Well, there
Derry
are quite a
Girls?
few Derry accents in Derry
Yeah.
Girls, I would say. Yeah. But now, do you have a trick to get into it, do you?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was preparing, I didn't know a Derry accent first off, and then I thought, who do I know? And then I thought, oh, Nadine from Girls Aloud is extremely Derry. And then, I don't know if people will know this, but there was an extremely controversial incident in the early noughties in Ireland.
So good!
It was so good. I feel like it was the first Irish sort of pop culture TV moment. It was Pop Stars, the Irish version, which only had about 50 entrants because we don't have as big a population. So she went on and lied about her age. But she got found out on camera.
Stop it.
Yes.
Oh, no, YouTube it. It's so good!
Lean forward.
Wow.
This is the trick thing.
How old was she and how old was she?
OK, so she'd gotten into the band, and then her on-camera interview, like the first one to introduce yourself, who you are, she said, my name's Nadine Coyle from Larkhill in Derry, date of birth 15th of 6th, 85, Macamia, Germany. And then she thinks for a second and goes, what date of birth did I say now? 15th of the 6th. And then it fades. And she's outed herself on camera. But everyone lost the plot.
Do the phone call to her mother.
Do everything. Mommy,
Do the whole thing.
has Daddy put my passport in the car? Mommy, will you look at my handbag for my passport? And it was all a lie. She knew.
How old was she?
She was 16, she was meant to be 18.
What is it about you lot pretending you're different ages?
Just
That's
cool,
so
isn't it?
cute because she wanted to make it through.
But then she got in Girls Aloud. It actually worked out much better.
You
for
see?
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
And
happens for
we
a
ended
reason.
up with an amazing moment of her sobbing in the back of a Renault Espace being driven away.
I also did that whole thing in my audition, and it was very awkward because.
Well, you did it as a speech.
Yeah, but they didn't want me to. It's not like they said, would you mind doing your pre-prepared Nadine Coyle speech? I just sort of started speaking, and they sort of were looking at me, and I thought, well, this could really go either way. You know, it's all the executives from Channel 4 and the director and the writer, and I just started doing it. But I got the job, it's all fine.
Woohoo!
Yes!
Very good. Jodie Foster, I asked you this story the last time we were on the show.
OK.
And we didn't get to air it. But it's to do with Napoleon and Samantha.
Yes.
But Napoleon and Samantha, you know, people my age remember this movie.
Yes.
It was you with a lion.
Yes, I was with the lion.
And because it seems so far away, but, you know, it's you. There didn't seem to be much safety precautions with you and the lion.
No, I was 9 years old, and, well, I was working with... There were 3 lions. There was one really old lion with no teeth, he was the actual lion we were supposed to be working with, and then there was a stunt lion who did all the crazy, like, rawr kind of stuff. And then there was the stand-in lion, so 3 lions. The old lion wouldn't move, and you can't make a lion move because they're 500 pounds. So I was working with the stand-in lion, and I guess he had a little, you know, like a little piano wire that was pulling him, and would finish the take, and I was going up the hill, and all I remember is I remember seeing his mane come around, and then he picked me up sideways and shook me in his mouth, and turned me around, and every single person on the crew was running in the opposite direction. And I'm like sideways, watching everybody, and they took their equipment too. And I'm watching everybody leave, going like, what's happening? Then I remember being like, oh, it's an earthquake, because I was getting shaken. The trainer said, drop it. And because the lion was so well trained, he opened his mouth and dropped me down, and I went running, and then he came after me and then just put one paw on me and then just waited, like, I got her. Yeah, so that's the story. But I do remember watching it, going like, oh, that's funny, they're all running. Sideways, being shaken.
If I'd been there, I'd have been like, okay, come on, lion.
That's right. You'd have had me. You'd have had my back.
You had her back. You had her back. So now that you know, here you are, the 11th album, and, you know, happily married, you've got your children now. But over the years, I mean, fans, you must have had kind of some wild fan encounters. Like, what is the maddest thing a fan has given you or done or whatever?
Herpes.
Justin knows she can't get it twice. So, I'll I'll get in a lot of trouble for telling this story.
Ooh.
OK, so...
It's not too late to back out.
It is! Shut up!
Sorry.
I mean...
Go.
OK, oh, my God, I can't believe I'm telling this, but I will. So, back in the day, I was renting a castle, right?
Of course you were.
Yeah. Because that's my life. I was renting a castle, and we were renting it to rehearse in for a tour. And I was in this big room in this castle. I'd gone to sleep, and I'd woke up, and I was lying on my bed, and I was cognizant, and I was awake, but I hadn't opened my eyes yet. And I was getting more and more confused because I could swear there was somebody in my room, and I could swear that they were sort of tidying up or cleaning or something, and sure enough, I opened my eyes, and there was a lady at the bottom of the bed. Now, and she could have been anywhere from 28 to 58. And she got this headset on, and it had got a sellotape on, and the lead went down to a cassette player. Now, we were way in the days of CDs at this time, and I was like, wow, this situation's really odd, but you just woke up, so you don't really know what's going on. And she looks at me, and I look at her, and I went, all right? And she went, all right? And she looked on the floor where my underpants were, and she went, Calvin Klein's? And I went, yeah? She went, I'm like, OK, this is definitely really weird. And she went, have you got Morning Glory? And this is back in the day when I used to have Morning Glory. So I was like, yeah. He says, I'll you off. Right? So I'm a creative fella, and I'm really young. I can close my eyes and pretend it's somebody else. So I was like, yeah, go on then. So anyway, she does the dirty deed, and it's confusing, and I felt defiled. And off she went on her merry way. And that night, I was with the lady that ran the castle. It was her job to run the castle. I said, you know what? I said, your cleaner's weird. And she said, what do you mean? I said, the cleaner that came in today, she's weird. She said, we don't have cleaners on a Wednesday. It's just somebody that had walked in off the street with a feather duster, come up and give me a and then left. But not only that, cut to, like, 3 years later, I'm with my band, and I'm like, and it was just a lady that had come up, give me a and left, and my guitarist went, no. That's Maureen from the pub. She said she did that, but nobody believed her.
Too soon? No, my friend. Too late. Right. That is... I mean, that's the best thing. We can all go home now. That's the best thing.
Is anybody else?
Just on my President Obama.
I'll give you the address of the castle. Maureen will definitely come and visit you.
No one told you life was going to be this way. We've been here since 5 o'clock rehearsing.
Has this been... You guys have been rehearsing? That's adorable. That was really good. Do that again.
So I guess no one told you life was going to be this way.
I'm going to get the next one.
We do this. We get it. Yeah. So here's the game now. I'm not going to say it again, but if anyone else wants to feed it into conversation, don't let me down. You did really good so far. Don't spoil it.
What is the line again?
Oh, no one ever told you life was going to be... Look
at me. I'm trying to remember it. I told you...
Told me life was gonna be this way.
You guys are good.
To the point where it may become annoying.
I could do this all night.
I mean, is it kind of intimidating when Dame Maggie Smith is on the set? For you. Not for you. I point around you. I point around you.
No, it's not intimidating. We've worked...
Yes, it is.
There's the odd moment.
I'll tell you something. I was much more intimidated because every single person on that set had been at the National with Nick Heitner, or they'd been in the History Boys. So I was such an outsider you wouldn't believe. I really felt that I ought to audition. I really did.
Well, you did the play, that was...
No, but I felt like an outsider. You were all very cliquey.
Were we?
Yes, you were. And it made me feel very, very not wanted. So I don't know why you weren't feeling much worse.
But actually, you do know what it's like from the other side, because I've read in interviews you talked about how intimidating you found it when you, back in the 60s, when you worked with Laurence Olivier.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because it sounds like he was very tough.
Well, yes, but I mean, I think everybody who worked with him were... I mean, they were in awe. And he hit me very hard one night.
You're kidding?
No, I'm not.
On stage?
Yes, he was a bit cross with me. And at one point, he had to say, "Out, devil." And he slapped me. And I hit the floor, and I think it was Edward Petherbridge, who was a Venetian gentleman, apparently said, "Oh, Mags." I don't remember, because I literally went out, and I remember saying, well, I did see stars at the National Theatre. I really did.
But when you did Desdemona to his Othello, it does sound like you gave as good as you got.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's... You mean... Oh,
yeah.
Yes, this was when he was doing Othello, and he was wearing all that makeup, all that... And I used to stick his eyelashes on for him, because he had these great big eyelashes. And he said... Well, I went in one night, and he said, "Oh, darling Maggie, I've been meaning to tell you, I think your vowels are not really very good, so, you know, could you watch it?" Anyway, so I went in the next night to do the eyelashes and things, and said, "How now, brown cow?" And he didn't get it.
But you asked me what it's like, you know, being with Maggie is, you know, it's working with the best, because she is the best.
Oh, she is. She's the best.
I know that's not true.
So you're... And before you film or before you go on stage, you're getting, like, fantastic nuggets about Noel Coward and Laurence Olivier, or being taught Polari by Kenneth Williams, or working with Betty Davis.
Yeah.
And she's really naughty as well.
But the thing is, you have had this extraordinary career, and, you know, I mentioned the Oscars in the introduction and things, but Harry Potter, weirdly... But that did sort of change your life in a way.
Well, yes, a lot of very small people kind of used to say hello to me, and that was nice. It was a whole different lot of people.
Yes, but also so weird that they'd only know you for that one thing, like you'd never existed before.
No, I never had. And except one kid once said to me, he said, were you really a cat? And I heard myself say, just pull yourself together. How could I have been? Anyway.
Margot, I don't know if you were a terrible child, but do you know the story I'm talking about where, like, you do not win any awards for being a good daughter?
There are many stories where I don't win awards. I was not a great daughter. I am forever in my mum's debt because I was such a brat. I feel really bad about it.
Tell us the story about when you were on your computer and she wanted your help.
Oh, yes. Yes. OK, so I was on MSN, obviously the most important thing at the time.
Got us in the details.
And we lived out, like, you know, out in the sticks, and often snakes would get into the house, and you know, it wasn't a big deal, but you just have to like chase them around and get it out, and it's kind of time-consuming and annoying. And so my mum yelled out, and she was like, "Can you come help me? This snake's really big. Like, I can't get it on my own. Can you come help me?" And I was like, "I'm so busy, Mum. No, I can't." Like, just being a brat, because I was on MSN. And she was like, "Oh, okay, you should please." And I was like, "Be gone." And and then she was gone for like 10 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, she's been gone for ages." And then I like got up from the computer. I could hear like this, and I was like, "Oh God, what's happening?" And I see Mum. She's like made it halfway down the stairs, and the snake. She'd tried to like pick this big python up with a broom and a stick, but it had wound its way up around her arm and was going around her neck. Like trying to
I love Australia, but I would never be able to live
No, I know,
there.
I'm painting a bad picture. It's really not bad, but and it wasn't a poisonous steak, but they do strangle you. And, and I felt so bad. And
get it off her?
You just got to give it something else to climb on. So you get a stick or something, it starts weaving its way around that, and then you can transfer its weight and
good to know.
Get it off.
Yeah, that is top tip though.
You grab it behind its head. You grab it behind its jaw.
Oh, they hate that. They hate.
Well, you just don't want it to bite you.
But was your mother okay?
Yeah, she was fine. But I felt bad, and I tried not to be such a brat. When Mum asked for help in future, I kind of did it.
A lesson
learned.
Very good.
Just before, we'll have a story in the red chair. Yes. Hello.
Hiya.
What's your name?
My name's Aileen.
Aileen?
Yep.
And I'm guessing you're from Ireland.
I am. I'm from Derry.
Oh, you're from Derry, up to the north of the country. OK. And do you live there or here?
Study here. I live over there.
Oh, right. What are you studying?
Costume design. Costume interpretation.
OK. There will be subtitles on Friday. I know right now only I can understand it. Everybody else can understand it too. Yeah, but
Okay.
I know.
I can't.
No. So far, you're not missing anything.
I've never heard of costume interpretation before.
It's like costume design, isn't it?
Except fancier.
Fancier? It's fancier, Frank. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All the lever.
OK, off you go.
Right. So, lead up to Christmas, I was back home and had a...
Exact face. Did you get any of it? Christmas.
Something about Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. That's the only good detail so far. Just pick out words, you'll follow the story. Say, blah, 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 Christmas, blah, 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 home.
Gone into the shop and I had to get milk and bread. So I literally was really stressed. So I was like, run in, run out, get the groceries, let's go. Told my boyfriend to do a lap and just pick me up, no need to park the car. So as planned, I came out, you know, perfectly timing. Silver people carrier just casually drifts by, casual speed. So without hesitation, I sprint across with my groceries. Jump in the back of the car, screaming, and thump in the back of the chair, shouting, "Go, go, 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 go!" But taking in mind it was Christmas and I had like a scarf up here and a hat. I thought, which was my boyfriend, turned out to be this middle-aged, like 60-year-old woman. Screaming, "Jesus!" and pushed her foot on the accelerator and I pushed her in the lamppost.
It's a good story. You walk. Well done. Very good.
So the last time you were here, Jodie, you just become the doctor. So presumably now you're used to it. You're used to kind of because it's one of those things. Like you can't hide wherever you go. You are the doctor. Like
well, it's okay because these guys didn't know what Doctor Who was. I was really safe in their company.
Yeah, you could hide backstage.
yeah. It's an interesting thing, particularly in Britain. But weirdly, the show, you can't predict a demographic. It's all over the world, and so there isn't that thing where you go, oh, okay. So you know, I'm walking around this place. I don't need my hat, and then the oddest kind of moment will happen and you go, oh, maybe they recognise me. But if you're me, you have a slight narcissism where you think everyone's recognising you. And I had such an embarrassing thing happen to me yesterday on the tube. So I've obviously got, like... Oh, anyway, right, basically what happened was... So I was stood on Oxford Tube platform.
Yeah.
And I've always got, so you know, like a glass keep cup, you know, like rather than going to a coffee shop and getting a new cup, I carry a glass one that I then wash and re-get my latte. Yeah. And so I got my empty cup and I was just stood down and stuff, and an elderly gentleman was walking towards me on the platform. And I was just like, oh, God, I just want to get on the tube. I hate getting recognised. And he started to walk towards me, but then he had his arm out, and his arm came into my space. And on the tube, on the platform, it's crowded, and it's a bit... I don't know, I just got the kind of like, oh, what are you doing? A bit aggressive, unnecessarily. And actually, what he was doing was he went, oh, sorry, I thought you wanted money. And he was trying... And he was going to put 10p in the keep cup.
That is the greatest story.
I know, but I was like, yeah. Oh, God, oh, man. Oh. And I got on the tube and I just, like, sat there. And I was like, someone make eye contact so I can tell this story. I was like, waiting for someone. And I was like, I've got a really good story.
Because, Dwayne, presumably, you can't hide. You can't put a hat on. You can't put a hat on that. I mean, but yet, I mean, I've seen you in a gym, like a public gym. So do you just get bothered all the time?
All the time. Yeah.
But how do you work out?
So anonymity's gone out the window.
But how do you work out in the gym if people are constantly coming up to you?
Just be nice, say hello, get them moving.
Get them moving. Lift them.
But fame is a funny thing, right? So that story for you, well, that will be like the constant anchoring reminder, right? Of like how cool fame is, but also never like...
I don't have the stress you have, though, because I think the thing is, if you are 5'6" and you've got a hat on and you're dressed like most of the time a teenage boy in a baseball cap. Headphones on, head down. I catch the bus and the subway every single day because I'm not in anyone's eye line like that. But I imagine there is something about if you can't.
You're 7 feet tall.
Taller.
So yeah.
But Kevin's had weird. You've had weird fan captors.
Well, what happens if you're 3'2"? Like, how does that? How do you?
What are you talking about?
He's so rude.
Wait, no, how do do you deal with that?
5'2", you know that.
Hey, look at everybody.
5'2".
I'm sorry, right, I'm sorry.
I don't think, well, first, there's two, we're skipping around some points here. First thing, she's saying she's dressed like a teenage boy. For somebody to put money in your cup, it's got to be a lot worse than that. Just be honest, okay?
Put it in, the lid was on.
There's something within the appearance said, I need to help this person. Make sure they eat today. Something happened. For me, I mean, it's bad. And because I'm a big deal. It's just.
You get the guy followed. Was it in a restaurant where he followed you?
Oh my God! I had a guy actually follow me into the bathroom. This is a true story. I'm in the stall. You know, I gotta go. And you know, guy, while I'm in the bathroom, he's like, Kevin, can I get a picture? And I'm like, you know, because I'm obviously a very big guy. I stand up for myself immediately. I say, hey, not in here. You wait until I'm done. Okay? So you go outside. I take it with you when I get outside. And I go in the stall and close the door. And, you know, you would expect whoever that was to have left. They're gone. And I do what I gotta do. And it was one of those situations where I had to be in there for a while. And I'm in there. And, you know, literally, you know, when you get comfortable, you start to take your time. And I'm on my phone, I'm scrolling, it's a comfortable environment.
It's what you do at the mall.
I get done and I get out the stall and close the door. No. He's right there. He's like, man, you were in there for a while. He's like, can we get the picture? And I was like, I meant outside the bathroom, man. Get out the bathroom. I'm not taking a picture with you in the bathroom. But the fact that he stood there, very nicely the whole time, it made me feel obligated. And I was like, hey, just come on, selfie, real quick. I was like, don't tell nobody you saw me in here this long.
He's been friends with Jason Statham ever since.
Yeah.
You've been to Australia.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
And now you had an incident. I think was it in a zoo? You had an incident.
Oh yes, it was.
So you're there and you were visiting his emus.
What happened was, see, there's this zoo and it's in Australia, right? And we go up and the zoologist, and I don't do dialects very well, but he was Australian and he said something to the effect of, now, I'll try it. You got to be really careful as it is mating season for the emus. Don't turn your back on them. I took it as a challenge. So anyway, we went and looked at emus, about like that, and I was looking at an emu, and suddenly, what the hell? There's an emu behind me with like a bird boner. I mean, what the? I'm telling it like it was, and it was not like, you know.
Was it impressive?
It didn't look like lipstick, I'll tell you that.
Well, you don't expect it from a bird somehow.
No, you don't. I mean, monkeys, I know. I will not work with monkeys at all, ever again, because if they get frustrated, for instance, then they'll disappear up into the rafters and start pulling the set apart and masturbating. Why are you laughing? It's the truth. It's serious. It's what I do for a living. And that monkey that you saw in that picture, that one, I don't know if you have it again, but yeah, that one, you little asshole.
Is he biting you there?
You know what he's doing? He's wearing a fur bikini because he's got a perpetual erection.
So what, they put a little bit of fake fur
Yeah,
on
they
him?
had to build him a little fur bikini to put on him.
Look! Oh, there it is! Look, you can see it!
He would get ticked off, and what he was doing, he pulled part of the hairpiece off instead. And I thought, well, that's not good. And then he got really angry with me, and he climbed up and went and had a wank somewhere. As all good actors do.
Yeah! Sorry, I should have alerted you. Depressing news, everyone. 20 years since Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Crikey.
Now, I'd always assumed that was written for you.
No, I had to audition, and in fact, I was very much unwanted. Richard Curtis, after the audition, did everything in his power to stop me getting the part. And it was a very traumatic audition. I remember going, and for some reason, it was at the Jim Henson studio, you know, where they make the Muppets. And we were actually in this great big studio, and so I was auditioning in front of director, producer, writer, and 50 full-size Muppets. And it was unsettling.
And what did you have? Did you have a video of your best man speech or?
That's right. Well, I thought I'd made rather a funny speech at my brother's wedding, so I thought I'll take that along and that'll charm them. But in fact, I think it slightly sickened them, because they were looking for someone kind of more middle of the road, and I think I looked really sort of hoity-toity, up my own arse, posh. So, but anyway, I got the part in the end. I think they couldn't find anyone else.
And that speech, did it upset your brother? Or did he find it funny?
Well, yeah, I got away with it. He said, my brother, poor chap, is prone to having big styes in his eye, and he got one on the day of his wedding, and he said, whatever happens, just don't make a joke about my stye. So I based the entire speech around it. I mean, what else I hope that my brother will keep you in the style to which you're accustomed. I said, yeah, it was all that.
Quite long. Poor brother. Yeah. But also, it's that weird thing, going auditioning for things, you know, you prepare, or you're right for it, or you're wrong for it, or everything. But, Luke, like, to audition for something like Dracula, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, I'm going, like,
well,
what did you do?
Well, I did my meeting on Skype, the 21st century way of getting a job. And I've got fangs. I have natural, quite large,
you really do.
enhanced canines. Yeah, I'm looking at myself now.
Yeah.
They are quite large. And during the Skype meeting, I sort of kept leaning in and going, And you know, on that first day when I actually did meet them all, I was expecting to bring it up, we did notice your fangs, and they hadn't even noticed I had them. And then they noticed every day while we were shooting the movie and asked if I could keep taking them out, but they were actually mine. Yeah, weird that.
But they are.
They're massive, yeah.
Yeah, I never noticed them before.
When I was 7, I had all the side ones taken out. I don't know why, but teeth grow till they touch. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So they didn't have anything to touch. They just kept growing. Yeah. Yeah. I could whistle in very strange places for about a year. I can't now. I've got the teeth have grown back.
Curses.
But I could. So yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Now, we mentioned the two of you working together, you and Emma. Obviously, brother and sister in Love Actually, which I sort of... You forget that you're the brother and sister in that movie. And then lovers in Sense and Sensibility. Beautiful. Of course...
He was so grumpy all the time. So grumpy. He knew me, he'd known me for years. There was nothing there for him. He knew that I wasn't going to cough up. Actually, he couldn't have been less interested. I'm trying to make it look good. But in fact...
I did let you down on that. I was grumpy, fat, bad, and got arrested halfway through the shoot. Yeah.
Well, you were so famous because you hadn't been famous. We'd done 2 films together where neither of us was famous, and then you were suddenly very famous because of 4 Weddings.
What were those other 2 films?
Impromptu, where you played Chopin in a terrible wig.
Yes.
And The Remains of the Day, where you got killed in the war.
Yes, very sad.
Very sad. Yeah.
Now, I would say it is traditional at this point in the show when John Bishop is on the couch to turn to the Americans to say, understanding anything.
Yeah, no.
You're getting it? None?
No, I'm getting it all. I
getting it all?
understand
Okay,
everything. Oh,
good.
yeah.
Good.
He said
Is
he
there
was
a
in the
bell?
Fellowship of the Ring. Something about a picture. Something about a picture.
Because talking of accents, this is a weird thing. So, Chris Pratt, this seems so unlikely that you have now learned how to do the voices from TOWIE.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. Well,
How is that possible?
We love that garbage TV back in the States. My wife was crazy about it, and when I was here filming Guardians, we shot Guardians of the Galaxy here in London, and my wife Anna came out to visit, and she fell in love with this show, TOWIE, The Only Way is Essex. It's this show that's like basically their Jersey Shore. It's the Jersey Shore from here. It's like this town somewhere, Essex, I guess, and these folks are just like the worst. And it was like I'm a parrot a little bit, and so when I hear it all the time, I just started picking it up and started like I could pick up their accent and do their accent a little bit. Yeah, I'm okay. This is really embarrassing to do in front of a whole room full of Brits here, but I'll try it anyways. So it's like, honestly, I saw this guy. Honestly, did Michael cheat on me when he was in a beefer, and I was like, because he was telling me, he's like, I miss you or whatever, and I'm like, you miss me? What am I, your mother? That's the only accent I can do.
That will never be useful. Never be useful. But that's very good.
Now I want to watch the show.
It's good.
But I love the fact that you spent months in England and that's what you talk about.
Culture.
But you haven't done Falstaff before, but you have been in
And
Henry
I've said
IV.
no to it, I don't know how many times, because I thought it was an impenetrably difficult part.
Why'd you say yes now?
Well, Robert Icke, who's directing it, has a charmed tongue, and
Goodness.
Quite
the audition. Quite the audition.
I have to reiterate, this is a major cultural moment. Ian McKellen is going to play Falstaff. This is a huge deal.
I've played Falstaff.
Have you? No. Ian's Macbeth is legendary. Yeah. I saw him doing Richard III when I was at drama school in 1990. It was, all these performances are like landmark performances. And we are about to get him playing Falstaff. This is an extraordinary moment.
This is what actors do. They're very nice about each other. People think we're bitchy, but we're not. We all adore each other. Full of admiration, as I am for you. We won't go through all your career. No. I'm sure you're going to do that.
But listen, if people can't get to Manchester, Wimbledon or the West End, Ian's other Shakespearean project is hitting cinemas. It's your special cinema adaptation of Hamlet, and it's one night only. This is the 27th of this month.
Yes, is it? Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope you're free.
Well, when I was 82, I played Hamlet. Oh, dear. Sean Mathias, who's a director I work with most, had this idea that I might be able to give a new aspect to a part that many, many people, including Michael, have played. And eventually I succumbed and agreed. And then we had COVID and we couldn't do the play, and we had the idea that we might film it, because that doesn't require an audience or too many masks. And we did it in the Theatre Royal Windsor. That was Elsinore, where the Hamlet and his family live. We don't do much on the stage.
So this isn't a film of the eventual stage production?
No, it's not.
This is something else?
This is a film, a cinematic film.
OK.
But using the empty theatre as our palace. So we're in the dressing rooms, in the corridors, in the auditorium. And one night on the roof, because Hamlet meets the ghost of his father on the battlements of Elsinore. And in the background was the Windsor Castle, all in darkness because the Prince Philip had died. Right. And I said, give it a go, see if they wouldn't mind. And so we asked, could we have the castle lit up so it would look good in the background of our shop? And the word came back, certainly. And yes, it was the Queen. It was well known, didn't like Shakespeare.
Did she not?
No, and in fact, although she was, I think, the president of the Royal Shakespeare Company, said she would come to Stratford, but as long as they weren't doing Shakespeare.
You know, that thing they do.
and then I thought, I wonder if there's something behind the wonderful speech that her son gave on her death about how much he'd loved her and everything. And he then ended his speech by saying, good night, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest, which is from the play Hamlet, written to his mother, who we all know hated Shakespeare. You can cut that out.
We're so keeping it in. The Daily Mail will love it.
I just love that you were able to call Windsor Castle and go, can you switch the lights on, please?
Yeah,
I can barely get Deliveroo to show up on it.
You don't have my pictures.
No, I don't, because...
And I'll tell you why.
Yes, tell us why, because it's really amazing job to get.
I was an Abercrombie model.
Get in. Abercrombie and Fitch, ladies and gentlemen,
Don't make your hoots. Wait till we get to the story. So my pictures never came out. I did like the whole campaign and the pictures never came out, and I didn't know why. And my agent wrote and asked why, and they literally only responded with the photos. Because they, like, their whole, like, idea was like, we want real people. So they, you know, they, like, got, I don't know, we were, like, on a beach, and then they threw us a football, and they're like, play football. And all the other models were, like, playing football, like, in a pretty way, you know, like, and not me. I was, all of the photos, I've got a red face, covered in sweat, my nostrils are flared, I'm like, no! In the back of a picture. And, like, at one point, a girl yelled, just get her away from me.
And the thing about this book, because, you know, you're an actor, you've been in a lot of Shakespeare plays, but this is more than someone who's been in plays. I mean, you know so much about Shakespeare. Were you surprised that you knew as much as you do about Shakespeare?
Well, that again is Brendan. That was Brendan O'Hay, an actor who I met at the National, and whose idea it was to come down. He said, why don't I just come down and record you talking about all the plays? I don't think it was a book intended, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask him.
Yeah.
But then, you know, suddenly things... I remembered things, and it sparked off a whole lot of memories, and he of course, fed them, and he was simply wonderful about it. And it was a great pleasure to do it, because I didn't think a book was at the end of it. I just thought it was glorious conversations, get us out of COVID. Really.
And in terms of the amount of Shakespeare roles you've played, how much Shakespeare is constantly in your head? How much Shakespeare do you carry around?
As much as it is all of us, of course. We don't realise, Graham, as you know, we quote Shakespeare all the time, perhaps without knowing it. But, I mean, also, you only have to go to those plays and be in any kind of those situations, being in love or being jealous or being angry or being whatever, and you will find that there is a way of him summing up that is completely sufficient for what your emotion is.
Yeah.
What passage is on your mind now, Graham?
Well,
It's like it was just on the tip of your tongue.
how all occasions do inform against me.
Wow!
Fuck you, Whitehall! Fuck you!
Show me the card! Show me the card!
Don't know where that came from. Quick, Judy. If I poke you with a stick, can you just do a bit of Shakespeare for us?
If you what, with a stick? If I poke you with a stick?
Touch you gently. If I touch you gently with a stick, could you do a little bit for us?
Like what?
I don't know, like a bit of a play or a sonnet? Or
a sonnet? A sonnet?
A sonnet?
I'll do a sonnet.
It's like having a Shakespeare jukebox in the house.
I'll do it. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least, yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. That.
Wow. That is spellbinding. Really, it's gorgeous.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no. Unbelievable.
I mean, there's more dialogue than I had in all my movies altogether.
Before we go tonight, we do have time for a story or two in the red chair. So who's up first?
Oh.
Seriously? Seriously. OK, next one now. Hello!
Hello, Graham.
Hi, did I meet you outside earlier?
Don't think so.
No? OK. I like to think you'd remember. My name's in the show title. What are you going to see? I don't know. Just going this queue? I don't own a television. What's your name?
Paula.
Paula. Hello, Paula. And where are you from?
Islington.
Islington. And do you have a job, Paula?
Yeah, I'm a manager of a sheltered accommodation.
Oh, very good. All right. Doing good work. And off you go with the story.
Right, so years ago I had 4 kids under the age of 7 and my husband, who was quite lazy, had joined a Sunday football league team thing. Anyway, I used to come home every Sunday, 3 sheets to the wind, sit on the settee, where's me dinner? So I'd give him his dinner, and then he'd fall asleep. And I just thought, you know what, I've really had enough of this. So I'd come home and I waited for him to fall asleep and I'd make up some gravy and I'd flick it on his shirt. And then he'd wake up and he'd say, where's my dinner? I said, you've had it, look, it's down there. That was all right for a while. Anyway, he went on to join the summer league, and it was a really hot summer, so he used to come home, strip off to his boxers, and fall asleep on the settee. So I couldn't do the gravy thing anymore, which really annoyed me. And I was hoovering one day, it was really hot, the kids were screaming, I was doing the washing, and it was all manic, and I was just thought, oh, I'm so fed up with him. And as I looked round, he had those boxer shorts on with the little buttons, and his little chappie was just pointing out a little bit. And this thing said to me, take the pole off the Hoover. And I went over, I pulled his pants aside, and I went to go, and I thought, no, no, don't do it. And before I could get away, it just lifted out and went... He shut up and went, what was that? Well, I run in the bathroom, and all I could think to shout back was, the best blowjob you'll ever have.
Even more. Even more. Best story ever. Look at that. The choir are clapping. The choir are applauding. Paula and her story.
OK, tell the people what you travel with.
A pantomime horse costume.
Now, she's not making this up. You've sent us pic. You actually... So this...
Me too.
Is it both halves?
No, yes, it's a two-man suit.
So you find a friend. You always have to find a friend.
You can't do it on your own. That's bleak.
So, on what occasions do you kind of go, OK, time for the horse?
Well, I mean, if you're on a film and you're, like, in Eastern Europe and you thought your friend was going to come and visit you and they're like, oh, sorry, I can't, my kid's got tonsillitis, or whatever it is, and you think, what am I going to do? I could have a pop into the horse and a bit of a canter up and down the hotel corridor.
Which end do you prefer?
Well, it's height dependent. There's horse rules. So the tallest person... No, there are. The tallest person has to be the back. So
I would have thought the other way round.
Well, no. No, because then you can have a long horse's back.
Of course. It won't look stunted.
Yeah, you don't want a lumpy, short person in the back.
No, and now you've sent us some pictures. Is this your earliest horse?
That was my first horse. But that was a rental. That was my first time I ever rented one.
You paid for that?
Yes.
It looks like you made it out of some car seat covers.
Well, they're not very realistic. they're not the most realistic, but yes, no, I paid for that. And you had to have it for 3 days. It was a bit oppressive. We had to keep getting in it.
So then did you purchase this next one?
No, that was also a rental. That's my daughter looking terrified. Look, is that...
And is Mommy front or back of that horse?
I think that's back.
You're back,
I think I'm back
Are they
there.
good fun to be in?
Oh, I've got one. I've got it in the hotel.
We must have a go.
Do you want to?
Yes, I'd love to.
I have actually got it here.
And I think we've then got your latest. Is this the one you brought with you?
No, that's actually me and Michael Sheen. He's in the rabbit suit. I can't remember why we were doing that at a bus stop, but...
Or indeed anywhere.
This sounds so crazy. Am I the only one that thinks it's crazy? I love it. It's crazy. Are you a crazy person? Yeah, I want to get
in
it.
Yeah. I can make that happen.
Let's go.
No, I have to say, you're so smiley, and you do look like an ad for Panto horse therapy. You know, it's like
it does
feeling
really
blue.
Work. It does really work. The point is, most people haven't tried it, so they don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
But if you're at your hotel, walking down the hall, and you see a horse costume coming the other way, in what world do you just say, I bet that's Kate Beckinsale?
But like all great relationships, the fans have given it names. Do you know these names?
No, I don't.
OK, there's... some call it McFassy. OK. Others call it... I quite like this. Fassavoy.
Fassavoy. Fassavoy?
Fassavoy.
I'm liking that.
Or, of course, the classic McBender.
What's the name of the McBender musical?
McBender.
There'll be a new burger that comes out called that. Back to the
McBender. No, have you guys seen the fan art?
No.
Have you seriously?
Well, I saw something
Just what
you showed us when we were
Oh,
back
yeah,
there.
so I showed that. But there's other ones. Like, this is nice.
Was that what you were reading?
This is Hamlet.
Look
at them.
That's terrible.
They are such good pals. Look at you, Michael.
I know. It's much better than that real photo you showed me on the way in. That's just scary.
But no, and what if they're at the craft services during filming, one of them gets hungry? Why, you could share a cherry.
Oh, my God. Right.
Different artists, though.
Different artists. Actually, this is
You've
quite good.
You've never made me
art.
cupcakes. But what are you wearing, James? In there? Show me again. What are you wearing? Am I wearing dungarees? You like dungarees?
Obviously, you did the baking, and I'm feeding you.
Why am I in dungarees? That's why you're in the workshop.
It could be an apron.
What then?
You did the baking, and I'm feeding you.
That's great.
No, that's lovely. Yeah, because you've worked hard all afternoon, James. So you deserve a treat.
So I'm taking your cherry?
Yes. Meanwhile, after filming, you're just relaxing.
Don't do this.
Don't do this. That's
Do
you.
you know what I'm saying?
Stressful.
What I'm saying is, I know it's tough being number 9.
I'm saying, I don't want to take a bath.
I don't want to. Should we play Bucky?
But here you are baking. It's rather beautiful. Now, for some reason...
Somebody's stirring the dough.
Wait a minute. Stop everything for a minute, mate. Whoever's creating this artwork, I applaud your artistry, by the way. It's beautiful work. But if anybody's giving...
Look at my face. No. But the other weird thing is, I don't know what, but James looks incredibly like Sue Lawley here.
I also think I look a bit like that.
That's what it looks. No, it looks like what you're saying is if anybody's doing the giving, it's me.
Get away.
Yeah, I'm trying to bake
Do you know what I think it really looks like? Do you know what I think it really looks like? It looks like a couple who've been together for 25 years and they're like, you know, we've not had sex in a long time and... Come on, let's try. Let's just try.
We don't even take our pants off.
Part of the central, I suppose, story of the book is your marriage to Lord
Colin.
Yeah, to Colin. And, I mean, quite early on... I mean,
I know what you're going to ask me. What my mother told me about sex.
Oh, I wasn't, but feel free.
I thought that's what you were sort of...
No, no.
Come on, tell us. Well, yes, absolutely. When I was 11 and I was being... my mother was taking me to boarding school for the first time, and I suppose she felt she had to tell me something, you know. And she said...
boarding school? 11? Is that what happened?
Well, the thing was, she said, you know when Biscuit was her dog...
Biscuit?
When blood...
It's also a dog.
Well, when blood comes out of Biscuit's bottom,
yes,
that's what's going to happen to you shortly. And also, when Daddy's Labrador gets on top of Biscuit, that's going to happen when you get married, but you'll probably be lying in a bed. And that's all I'm saying. I must have some water. Is this my...
Yes, that's yours.
I may have to have a huge thing of vodka.
Well, that, in a way, it prepares you for life.
Well, it sort of did.
No.
Do you want me to go into my honeymoon now?
Yeah. Please do. Please do. We're on a roll, Lady and Connor. Chadwick looks shocked.
I did, because the thing was that when I wrote this book, people thought it was going to be a little lavender sort of scented memoir. And I said, well, actually, I'm afraid it's not going to be. And then everybody said, oh, I'm going to buy it for my mother. And I said, well, I'm not sure. I do hope your mother's broad-minded.
I've sent it to mine.
Well, I think mothers are rather broad-minded. Yes. Anyway, Colin and I had the most fantastic wedding at Hoke. I was treated as a son. There were 3 tents, I had 3 wedding cakes. And Tony Snowden took my wedding photographs, and my father rather rudely called him Tony Snapshot, which I think he actually never forget. And anyway, there I was, having had this amazing wedding, wonderful wedding dress and everything like that. And we were going to Paris for my honeymoon, and we arrived very late at night at the Lottie Hotel, and went up to the, I imagine, the sort of bridal suite. Well, he lay down and went to sleep. And that was my honeymoon. I mean, what I've been longing for a night of passion, you know. Yes. Anyway, so... And then the next day we went to the Louvre or something. And then Colin said... I was frightfully bored by that. And then Colin said, well, I've got a great treat for you. And so I was absolutely thrilled. I thought dinner at the Ritz, you know. And I put on my best dress, all that sort of thing. We got into the car. And I did rather see, I saw the Ritz miles away, but off we went to the outskirts. And we stopped at this really seedy hotel. My heart sank. I thought, up we went to this room, and there were 2 seats. They were wing-backed. Velvet seats. And so I sat, and on the bed were 2 really disgusting people making love. I was sort of squelching about it, and I didn't know what to do. So I sat back in my chair, closed my eyes, and I simply didn't want to look at Colin. I didn't know what he was doing. You know. Anyway, I sat there, and then they kept on saying, would you like to join in? And I said, well, look, it's very kind of you, very polite of you. Very kind of you. But I really don't know. No, thank you. No. So, and eventually, thank God, they finished what they did. And left the room. And I did say to Colin, I can't think, Colin, why you took me. Why you thought... And he said, I thought it might... You know, I was a virgin, you see, because they all were.
Well,
and I didn't think Colin ever made love to a virgin, because he used to go off to... it was a brothel. Your father probably...
You'll know it, Eleanor. You know.
Very upmarket brothel.
Yeah. So I think it was safe to say Colin was a colourful character. And because it's not based on language, because it's so physical, Mr. B, presumably it's popular everywhere.
Yeah, it is. It has what we might call a global outreach.
So, like, our holidays are misery. Can you go anywhere?
Well, yeah, I can't go to many places where you're not recognised. And it's the... the thing I find most tricky is when people don't recognise you particularly, but half recognise you. You know, it's that strange thing where they go... and, of course, that means they stare. They stare a lot. And they just look. You're sort of feeling, I wish that person wouldn't stare at me. So, you know, I'd rather just, you know, hold up a flag saying, yes. Yes, it's me. A few years ago, there was... I was in a Land Rover parts department near Peterborough, the kind of place you find me on most Saturdays. And we're waiting for car parts. And car parts, guys hang around a lot because, you know, to get a part, the guy has to go half a mile to the back of the warehouse and then come back again, and he brings it back. And he says, this is a left-hand one. Oh, you wanted a right-hand one? Sorry, I'll go. Back he goes, and it takes forever. Anyway, I was standing around with a group of guys, and I could see this guy doing that. And he came up to me after a while, and he said, excuse me, has anyone ever told you that you're the absolute spitting image of that Mr. Bean? And I said, well, actually, I am the actor who plays Mr. Bean. And he said, I bet you wish you were. And there followed this bizarre conversation in which the more I tried to claim that I was the person whom he thought I merely resembled, the less he believed me. But what was funny was how close he thought I was to you know, he said, the resemblance is uncanny. Have you ever thought of doing any, you know, lookalike work, like, you know, stag nights and hen nights? You know, you can go along as Mr. Bean. And I said, no, I haven't. He said, because you can make an absolute fortune. And I could tell after a while I had to bring the conversation to a close because clearly not only was he not believing me, but he was getting quite annoyed, you know, that I was pursuing this line of, I am Rowan Atkinson, and clearly he thought I was this total arse. Just because I happen to look a bit like Mr. Bean, goes around the country actually claiming to be Mr. Bean. You know, what a...
And Kevin, obviously, you're like not just a stand-up, you're like a stand-up superstar. You sell out arenas all over the world.
The best of our time.
But what's nice to know is it wasn't always like that.
Oh, no.
What did you perform at? You performed at a seafood festival?
I mean, which show you want to know about?
Got tons of them. It was only, I think they wanted, was it crab?
I had a crab fest.
Crab fest? What is that?
In the beginning of stand-up comedy, you're not performing in luxury, you know, venues. Wherever they feel that they can build the stage and make money is where you're going. So there was a crab fest. And it was like, we're gonna book some talent, some comedian talent. And I was like, all right, well, you know, I'm available. And, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to tell a joke while people cracking crabs. It's not the best environment at all. I mean, literally, the frustration that comes from not being able to open a crab is serious. And if you're not funny at the same time, the stuff that you hear. I remember hearing a woman, an older lady, who was like, she was cracking crabs. Because this is how you crack crabs. She was looking at me and she was like cracking a crab. And I tell a joke and the joke doesn't work. And I remember this lady just going, oh no. I don't think, I would much rather be booed. The disappointment that came from her voice and then, oh no. She said, baby, it was like, oh no, baby. As if I made a mistake with my choice of life. Like I'm not doing it wrong. I mean, you know, look, the hardship that I went through has helped build me into the person I am today, where I can take so much. But I've been through it all. I was hit in the face with a buffalo wing. I performed at a...
Don't perform around food.
No. Well, if you go to my shows now, there's no food alive. It was actually a male strip club that they shut down for comedy for the first half. So it was ladies in there, and you know, it was just supposed to be us performing for these women that were riled up. First thing, I got on stage when they introduced me, and this lady was like, "Pull it out." I said, hey, that's not me. I'm not here for that. I'm here to entertain. These are jokes. I know who's got kids. I start trying to merge into kid material. And this one dude from the back, I just remember this dude from the back, he was like, that's enough. And he just threw a buffalo wing at me. And it landed, hit me in the cheek, a little bit of sauce, got like right here. Buffalo sauce is hot, so I assumed that it was a woman with a deep voice, so I was like, who threw it? Who threw it? Because at the end of the day, I'm a man first. Don't disrespect me. He stood up. He was like, I did it. And I contemplated just taking my clothes off. I was like, that's the only way to get out of it.
Jack Whitehall, on League of Their Own, you also do pranks, but they're not punchy. You would think they'd be physical.
No.
But they're mostly phone-based.
Oh, yeah, phone-based.
Yes.
So we went on a tour of the US, me, Jamie Redknapp and Freddie Flintoff for A League of Their Own. And the game of the tour was to steal each other's phones and send messages. So I got hold of Jamie Redknapp, who's the footballer. I got his phone, and he has a load of old footballers that he used to play with in the 90s when footballers were men. So I did a group text message to Stuart Pearce, a.k.a. Psycho, Dean Saunders, and Neil Razor Ruddock. Whoa. And I sent them a message saying, I've got 4 tickets this Friday to go and see Jersey Boys. Who's in? So that was the first one. Then he stole my phone and sent a message to Princess Eugenie, 8th in line to the throne, saying, I've got a tiny winky. Which...
She texts back going, I know.
Technically, it was treason, so... And then I think my favourite was I got Freddie Flintoff's phone, and I decided I would text Kevin Peterson. So Kevin Peterson is the cricketer. He's quite a confident chap.
Yes.
So I got his phone, and I sent a message from Freddie to Kevin Peterson saying, I never said this when we played together, but I respect you so much as a player and as a person. So I sent it, no reply. Fred was like, it's probably not even his number, and even if it is, he's going to know that's not me. We forgot about it. 6 months later, Jamie Redknapp is doing a charity golf day with Kevin Peterson, and on the 8th hole, Kevin turns to him and goes, can I just say, I got a message recently from Freddie. He never said any of that stuff to me as a player, but for him to say that, it meant a great deal.
So good. How old were you when you did become... You really were a bluecoat, weren't you?
I was a bluecoat, yeah, at the place you showed, which was next door to Heysham Nuclear Power Station. The thing is, I got sent there because I worked at a really good one in Yarmouth, Great Yarmouth, got sacked, which is another story, and then was sacked and was sent to... We'll move on to that in a minute. But,
sent to this one?
Sent to that one as a sort of punishment. It was like you're going to Morecambe to do 6 months.
Because you have just...
You've just done something which...
What had you done?
Well, something that was considered cheeky in the 70s, but now is illegal.
Oh, what?
No, it wasn't. It was actually an incident where it was my first attempt at stand-up comedy. And what happened was I'd always wanted to do stand-up comedy. I didn't have the guts to do it. I got very drunk. I had a go at doing it as a blue coat. My mate said to me, just copy all the other comedians at Pontins and steal their jokes and basically talk to the front row. So you're supposed to say, where are you from? They say Scotland. You say, who paid for your holiday? Where are you from? Wales. You make a noise like a sheep. Rubbish jokes, right? But I said, that's terrible. He said, don't worry, you're just padding. What you're doing is you're looking for comedy gold, which is, where are you from? They say Kent, and you say, what did you call me? Right? Now, at Pontins, this used to take the roof off, right? So I tried it, but I was very drunk. So I go on stage, and I say, where are you from? This bloke says Scotland. I can't remember the joke. I say hello. Then I said where are you from? The guy says Wales. I black out and I go, hi. I panic. And then I say, anyone in from Kent? And this bloke shouts out, me. And I said, well, you're a So I'm sent to Norton. I know people always end these things with, I swear to God, that's a true story. But that is verbatim how it works. It's still in your act, isn't it? It's still in my act, it really.
But what's amazing, and it should give everyone hope, is that it took, like, you were not an overnight sensation. Like, it did take you a lot... Like, people would have given up, like what I'm saying.
I'm like a 30-year overnight sensation.
How many auditions do you think you did before you got a job?
Well, it's sort of been mythologized now, but it started with about 600.
Wow.
Most people, smart people, quit when it takes that long.
What was giving you hope?
I couldn't do anything else.
But you've done a lot of theatre, haven't you, over the years?
That's right.
Yeah. And sometimes incredibly convincing performances. Didn't you, like,
Sometimes more than others.
Yeah, didn't you, like, cross a line in it? Was it your fault that you crossed the line? Or was it somebody set you up?
Oh, you're talking about that?
Yes.
There was a play that I did that I had to... I smoked a joint in the first scene. And, of course, there was a very naughty young actor I was in the play with who, on the opening night with all the critics...
The opening night?
He slipped a real joint onto the prop table. And I'm out there, and I'm just... Now, when you're acting, you overdo everything. So, when you're out at a party, you take 2 puffs and you say, okay, that's enough, I'm so stoned. But I was acting, and so I'm just like...
I'll save it.
I literally, between the two of us, we smoked a giant blunt on stage. And I'm like, man, I am in it tonight. I feel it. I'm on fire, man. I'm feeling it, and I... Why's that dude standing backstage laughing at me? And the kid who put the joint on the prop table is standing there going... And I just went... Oh, shit. And the girl that I was passing it to had never smoked pot in her life.
Oh, my God.
I had, up to that point, had smoked a lot of pot. So I know you haven't, and I know you have.
No, Barbs don't ever do drugs, okay? Love you too.
We interrupt this anecdote for a message.
Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We returned
It was
to
the
Mark
worst
Ruffalo.
thing I ever did. Don't do it. But at the end of the play, I got the best reviews of my entire career. But I'm not...
No, we're
it's
not.
wrong. I would never do that again. It was a nightmare experience. And for the Barbs, you're much better off listening to Nikki than me.
That's right.
This is a breakthrough role for you, Jack, because an American accent.
Yes.
Yes.
I was doing an American accent.
What, in that clip?
Yeah.
He was. He was.
I feel the Oscar buzz whistling away.
He was.
No.
I'm so sorry. I heard terrible.
Yes, no.
Yeah. It was good. It was
Thank
good.
you very much.
I heard it. I
Yes.
heard it. It was
You
good.
see, what a lot of actors do when they do an American accent is they tend to just go for, like, one region of America and they commit to a single American accent. I decided with this role that I would take us on a tour around all 50 states. Sometimes in the same scene. I thought, why just do one when you can show off them all? So I would start the scene talking like I was from New York, and then all of a sudden I'm suddenly speaking like I'm a Cali girl, and by the end of the scene they're stopping me because it sounds like I'm from the Dukes of Hazzard. And it went all over the place. But I thought, you know, just show off your skills.
And it's out in America already, so are you getting responses from audiences? Are people liking it?
Yeah, people seem to really like it. It's done great in the States, and yeah, I'm excited for it to come out here. People take it very seriously in America because it's kind of like their version of Paddington. So, and that's kind of the tone of the movie as well. But like grown adults who grew up with Clifford the Big Red Dog and get so like obsessed over the weirdest details as well.
Oh.
There was a guy who tweeted at me. It's quite weird. He was in the cinema and he'd taken a screenshot, and it was a screenshot of Clifford from behind with his tail up, and he tweeted at me going, "Why doesn't Clifford have an anus?" I was like, should you be at a kids' film? Should you be near children at all? And then it's one of those crazy things, because it's the internet. Underneath, there's like a whole discussion underneath this comment saying, if he doesn't have an anus, then he can't poop. And then someone else underneath it, best response ever, had put, maybe that's why he's so big.
Very good. Obviously, you were a massive music star who then turned to acting. But the thing I didn't know was there was quite a kind of serious dip in between those two careers.
Oh, yes.
But you'd made millions. What happened to the money?
Man, I spent it all. Yeah, by the time I was 19, you know, I was broke. You know, we put an album out that flopped. And it was like, uh-oh. And I was very, very nervous, and you know, but you know, when rich people say they're broke, people like Donald Trump, you say he's broke, and that means his budget's down to $3 million a month. No, I was poor people broke. I was riding a motor scooter because I couldn't afford gas, right? And then that was I was like, I have to try to make something happen, and that's when I moved to Los Angeles. And there was a television show called the Arsenio Hall Show.
Oh, yeah.
And I would just go and just stand outside the show every day and meet people.
But do people recognize you?
Yeah, but they when you get broke, people try less to recognize you. They're like, ooh, man. You know, so it was probably about a year and a half, and I went and I just kept going to the Arsenio Hall show, kept going to the show, and I was standing there, and I met a guy named Benny Medina, and Benny Medina is the real-life Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He actually, he moved in with his rich relatives and all of that, and he pitched me the idea, and that I met him just standing outside of the show. There's some guy standing outside of your show right now who's going to be famous telling a story about it one day.
And Tom, how did you end up in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
They asked me to go on there.
Yeah.
But
fair enough.
Before that, they were sort of talking about me because Carlton, the character in the, was a Tom Jones fan. You know? And Will used to make fun of that, you know.
I mean, I
Did you, Will?
No. You know, Will, no, what?
It was the character. The character was good.
No, but I mean, you know, your character was like, you know, cool and slick, and Carlton was trying to do my moves and all this, that, and the other. And then at the end...
Oh, there you are.
Right.
Wow. Both of you unchanged.
So anyway, at the end of the show, the last episode of the series, and so Carlton's looking through Will's records, and he has a record of mine there. Yeah. So that was it. That was the payoff. Yeah.
And it's incredible, given you have this phenomenal film career, that Fresh Prince doesn't go away.
Listen, that every country in the world, that is the thing that I am most known for. No matter how big the movies get, it's the Fresh Prince everywhere.
And does that bug you, or is it...
Listen, man, as long as they screaming Will, I'm cool. But it's funny, because Alfonso Ribeiro, who plays Carlton, when we first started the show, we were trying to come up with names for the characters, and we're going through and we're talking about it, and Alfonso pulled me aside. He said, man, let me tell you something. He said, whatever your character's name is, people are going to call you that for the rest of your life. He said, make your character's name Will Smith. You know, and he was so right. And, you know, when we go out together, people are like, Will, Carlton.
In fairness, Carlton's better than Alfonso.
I know.
That's what he was thinking. I can correct this. And famously, you performed the title rap, the title rap, which I happen to know everyone knows.
Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness.
Everyone knows.
Including me.
So,
okay.
Let me hand this over.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
This is quite heavy. Oh,
goodness.
Okay, here you go, Gary.
All right.
No.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
No.
Okay.
All right.
So the audience...
You've probably seen some musicians before, but get ready, my friend. Okay, hit the track.
All right.
Okay.
Story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there and tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground of grass, spent most of my days chilling out, maxing, relaxing on, cooling on, shooting some b-ball. Set up a school, win a couple of guys who were up to no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and taking me to the yard to get up to the Bel-Air. I whistled for a cab and when it came near the license plate president. If anything, I became this cab was rare, but I thought, nah, forget it, y'all, the Bel-Air. I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8. I yelled to the cabby, yo, smell you later. Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel-Air.
Fantastic. Oh, that's fantastic.
That was the synth that was done.
That's genius.
Wow. Next tour. Next tour, that's gonna be it.
That's the opener.
I know.
Don't make fun, it's taken me all week.
I think there's something about male stripping that it's just more good-humoured. Like, the audience laugh, and it's sexy, but it's funny at the same time in a way that kind of... I think women's strip clubs are quite grim.
Yeah, because it's like carnal. You have some guy that's like, yeah, get it. Women are just like trying to embarrass their friends, I think. Yeah, it's good fun. I don't know. I enjoyed it when I did it, but these guys, when I say they're the best dancers in the entire world, we have class A dancers and performers.
But they get hurt, apparently.
Yes, we've had some injuries, yes.
Oh.
Some I can't say on TV, but
How did that happen?
There's a lot of sliding involved.
Oh, splinters.
Yeah, it is a wooden stage. That was a bad choice on our part. But actually, the most common thing that takes one of our dancers out is a common cold, because you are very close and intimate, and some people don't care if they're sick. They just keep coming to the show. And,
The dangers of lap dancing. We had no idea.
It's a common cold.
But apparently, and you wouldn't expect this, in the show, there's quite a sort of sweet, tender moment.
Yes.
So what happens there?
Can I show you?
Oh.
A little sip. If everybody would like to join in, feel free to. This is one of my favorite moments in the show. It's a slow dance. When's the last time you've slow danced with somebody?
Years.
You can slow dance with your partners next to you, or.
Oh, we're going to slow?
Yes.
Oh.
Music, please. If
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, the cameras are broken. We've got to do that again. Well, thank you very much.
No, it really is like my favorite part of the show. Like everyone gets to slow dance with whoever they're like standing next to. It's quite nice.
He does smell lovely.
Tequila and nerves.
For us, you know, you're from Wales.
From Wales.
Yeah, Wales.
There's loads of roles for Welsh girls around.
But finally. But after Mask of Zorro...
Oh, they thought I was Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to go to the red carpet and they go, you know, in Spanish, I go, hola. And all I said was like, gracias. They couldn't be saying anything about me. I was like, gracias. Muchas gracias.
Now, to me, you still have a Welsh accent.
Yeah.
But is that because you're here?
I've been with my mum and dad this whole weekend and my brother, and it gets stronger. Yeah. When I first met Michael, I'd be on the phone to my mother, and I'd get off the phone, he'd say, "Oh, it's beautiful language, that Welsh." I went, "What are you talking about? I'm speaking English."
I have to say, the night you won the BAFTA, you were suddenly the Welshest woman alive.
It's that humble thing that comes on. He's like, I'm from Swansea, I don't deserve this.
Because you must have had friends there, American friends in the audience.
Yeah.
You mustn't have known what you were doing. Because you did the big chant and everything.
I did Oggy Oggy, didn't I? Yeah, I think Wales won that day, actually.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, there was something that jogged my memory about how important Oggy Oggy was in my life, and...
These were smiling and nodding.
No idea.
Oggy.
If I did the Oggy Oggy, you'd know what to do, right? We can cheer the Americans. Okay. All right. Ready? Yeah. Oggy Oggy Oggy! Oggy Oggy Oggy! 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 Oggy Oggy Oggy! Now you can do it.
Take that home. Yeah, we're gonna take that back to because ours is like say ho.
Yeah. In Canada, it's sorry about that.
When you were making this movie, where did the dog isn't in the film?
What dog?
You had a dog, didn't you?
Oh no, I found a dog on the film.
Okay.
Would you like me to tell that story?
Yeah.
Okay. I can give it a go if you want. No, big old dog it was, guys. Big old dog. 3 legs. Right? Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. No, they. So I was staying at this sort of go-to movie guy house in Atlanta, where when they showed me the house, they were like, Liam Hemsworth and Miley Cyrus just stayed here, so. And they gave me one of these, which I thought was untoward. But they're very precious about the house. What I didn't realize was that there's a strict no dogs policy. And then I was going to work one morning, and there's a little dog. It's below 0, and I thought, oh, what harm can it do?
And I let it in the house. When I came back from work, it was like a fecal Jackson Pollock. It was everywhere. You know what I mean? It was like, did he have help? I was like looking up, like, did he get a ladder? How is he still alive? You know? And so then I had to clean it all up, and then I had to hide the dog, and I spent like 2 weeks hiding this dog. And, you know, when it was over the last day, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And actually, your driver, Bo, said that his father had just lost his dog of 16 years. And so Bo took this little dog, and he went and lived on a lake with 100 acres. And he went to, you know, literally dog.
Oh.
So that's a nice story.
That's a lovely story.
Yeah, it is. That's a euphemistic for killing.
That's what they
yeah.
told. That's what they
He's
told
living in
Ryan.
100 acres now with Bo's dad. So dead, that dog. He died after the incident, didn't he? End of dog story.
Who's up next? Who's up next?
Hello.
Oh, my God!
More like you than you do.
That's where your hair went.
Yeah.
That's nuts. What's your name?
Matt.
No. Wow. Now, have you made yourself look like Matt Smith?
No, I think I was born this way.
Yeah, I know. It's a tragedy, isn't it? And where do you live, Matt?
Bristol.
In Bristol?
Yes.
So close to Cardiff?
Yes.
Do you have a question for Matt Smith?
Yes, I do. In the Children in Need clip that was shown, David Tennant wears the fez. And I was wondering if any more hats were involved in the episode, and did you get the fez on John Hurt?
Back to romance, because I love this story. I want to get this story in, because, you know, those missed connection columns in the thing, and we all love reading them, but you assume nothing ever comes of those missed connection columns. Coleman Domingo.
Until you're me. And you're in Berkeley, California in 2005, and you're minding your business going into a Walgreens, which is like a Boots here. So I'm going in there because it's a Sunday night. I live in New York. I'm just going there in Berkeley to get a mask for the night, you know, facial mask. So I'm walking in and I see someone walking out, has beautiful hair down to here, lip piercing, beautiful, beautiful. I see this guy and we look at each other. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm on the phone and I come outside and we look at each other and he's talking to this young woman and she seems to be angry about something. So it's a lot of like, you know, and he keeps looking at me and she's all, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And so I'm like, oh, let me get off the phone. I'm going to get off the phone. I get off the phone. They walk off down the street, but he keeps looking back. And I wave, but he just keeps going. And then I'm just dumbfounded, and I end up in a Blockbuster, you know, across the street, you know, and I don't even know what I'm doing, but I decided to look at my watch, and it was 8:03. And I came back outside, and I thought, is he here? And I thought, well, maybe I'll come back next Sunday, and he'll be here. I'm that kind of hopeless romantic. So anyway, cut to 3 days later, I'm trying to buy a used computer, and I was just scanning Craigslist. They have Craigslist over here, right? Yeah. I was scanning Craigslist, right? So I thought, maybe I'll place one of those missed connections ads. I wonder if they work. Because I would read them on the subway. I go to page 2 of them as I'm reading, and I see, saw you outside of Walgreens, Berkeley. He placed an ad for me 2 hours before.
Come on, bro.
I jumped up. I was like, are you kidding me? That's me. He described me with my faux hawk. It was 2005. And I was like, get out of here. So we met up 3 days later. We had our first date. I was trying to be a good boy and go home. He said, can you stay over? I said, sure, but let's just cuddle. We cuddled. I thought he was asleep. 4 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep. And I said, I think I love you and you're about to change my life. And we've been together for almost 19 years now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know, right?
What is that?
I know.
You are
like the most magical creature on the planet.
Oh.
Yeah. That is, it is amazing, and it really happened. How amazing.
It really
Yeah,
happened.
it really
but also,
happened.
I mean, I think I'm somebody who just believes that magic happens.
Yeah.
I really do believe that, and so I feel like, oh, if I want this thing, it'll happen.
We asked the audience about their biggest fears, and let's just. So hands up if you've got a fear. We asked people. Nice lady here. Hi. What are you afraid of?
Cotton wool.
All cotton wool.
Yeah, I'm all right on buds, but bags of...
She's all right on buds. I said she's okay with buds. Are you one of those people who can't get the pills out of the bottle?
No. It's just in bags, and when someone takes the pile out and it starts making that noise.
Oh yeah, that noise isn't it? No one likes that noise. Who was over here? A nice lady here. What are you afraid of?
Bread sweat.
Oh yeah!
Sweat.
Bread sweat.
What sweat?
Bread sweat.
Hang on, I'm finding out for you.
Thank you.
What's bread sweat?
All right, I'll set the scene.
Okay, times are marching. Okay.
When you've made toast and you put it on the side and you lift it up and it's all wet and the crumbs and just... Oh.
You're afraid of that?
Yeah, I can't touch it.
You know what? You should get a toast rack. Old lady here. Yes.
I have the fear of loose change.
Let's hope you're never homeless.
Is it really awkward?
I don't know, not really. It's the sound of change in people's pockets or anything like that. So if I'm given change in my hand before a receipt, I tend to just throw it up in the air.
That would be... I'd like to see that. That'd be...
Give us some change.
Who else? What's yours?
I'm actually afraid of sperm in places it's not supposed to be. I'm a forensic scientist, so...
What, you're a forensic scientist?
Yes.
So, but where
I find it in really weird places, and I feel like it's everywhere, and it freaks me out. I think you should have your couch checked out.
You're good. Well, actually, I tell you what. I've got one of those little CSI things. Men are now thinking, uh-oh. Okay, so what's your name?
Dean.
Dean, okay, come out here, Dean. Put your hat down. Okay, stand out there. Okay, let's bring the lights down. Let's bring the lights down. Okay.